Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Side Splitters. My name is Lyle,
And my name is Andy.
and our goal tonight is to leave you in stitches. What's going on, my podcast and broham?
Broham?
I got nothing.
Man, it got all baby's kids up in here for some reason. Um, I am doing well, just, I work in video games, man. Like, I lead the perfect adult life. Like, when I was a kid, worried about the kind of person I would be when I grew up, I turned into the complete cool version of me.
All right, good for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my job kind of sucks, but besides that, um,
What did you want to do when you were a kid? What was your dream job as a kid? Has it
oh
changed to
man,
what your dream job is now?
um, you really want to know?
Kind of.
When
Usually,
I
when
was a,
prefaced with that question, I kind of don't want to know anymore, but still, kind of.
um, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a paleontologist.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what little kid wants to be a paleontologist. I don't even know what little kids even know what a paleontologist is these days.
All right, just to clarify, so I don't have the intelligence of a little kid. That's the dinosaur bone one, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's the dinosaur bone one.
Well, to put it in the easiest terms, possible here. Um, my next question would be, why wouldn't a kid want to do that?
Um,
It's dinosaur bones. That's freaking awesome as a kid.
I don't. Maybe I don't hang enough around kids these days because I don't know what they find cool other than tablets.
Sure, you don't.
Um, hey, look, as long as that blue dot stays away, I'm good.
I
But I
don't know
digress.
what that means.
Oh, good, good, good. Let's keep it that way.
All
I'm
right,
not explaining.
good, good.
I am not explaining.
So, do you still want to be a paleontologist, Andy?
No, not at all. Not even in the slightest.
Okay.
Um, honestly, I would be happy if I had my own little business.
What kind of little business?
I actually wouldn't mind owning a gaming store.
Gaming store.
Mhm.
Hmm. I have a similar interest. It's not something that I'm like, reaching for tomorrow, but I wouldn't mind owning a sandwich shop.
I figured that with you
I mean, it's nice.
for obvious reasons, but
Just hear me out on this one. You know I like to
okay.
cook for people. You know I like to cook for people.
Yeah, but a sandwich place?
Here's why. I've worked at diners and restaurants before, and the atmosphere is nice sometimes. You get your regulars, and they're awesome. The riffraff is a pain in the ass, and yeah, you can get the same problem with a sandwich shop, but it's a lot simpler at a sandwich shop. And
Okay.
the originality that can come with a sandwich shop. For example, at a restaurant or a diner, it might be a little difficult to be like, here's an original dish. But at a sandwich shop, sky's the limit, my man. You can.
Excuse me, sir. What is the one-eyed purple people eater?
And that's a great question because it would be something ridiculous, but like perhaps maybe tasty, like turkey and cheese with grape jelly.
Ugh. Ugh, I shuddered a little bit.
All right, but you get the idea.
Yeah. So what would make it different? What would make this Lyle's sandwich shop?
Well, I would try to keep it as retro to the '90s as possible.
Ah,
No
okay.
touch screens. I wouldn't require, but if you want to eat, you're going to have to do it this way. You'd actually have to talk to one of us and order a sandwich. You know,
Huh.
um, if I did do a touch screen, one thing I've always wanted from touchscreen based services was a random button. I always wanted
Like
to
an
go
I'm
in there.
feeling lucky button.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I trust you, Sandwich Keep. You do it for me.
I'm not going to tell you how to run your business. So
Yeah. Look, you are obviously the master of this domicile. Therefore, be the master of my destiny. Make me a sandwich, whatever you seem fit. I would have that in a touchscreen menu, or even you know what? I'd even have it on a paper menu. If someone came in and be like, you know what? I'll have the I'm leaving it up to you special, and I'll ask them, do you know what that is? Not really, but I just want to try something new. Perfect. Because if someone doesn't know what it is, then clearly they just want to try something new. If someone does know what it is, then it's a win-win, really.
right, nice.
How about you? How would a gaming shop be defined as Andy's gaming shop?
I talked about this in length with my brother. Um,
Fresco.
it, yes, yes. For according to you, yes. I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. Um, no, the thing that I would do differently is I actually wanted to include kind of like a miniature arcade in there. Like the stuff that I would do would be specializing in games, like card games, maybe a little bit of board games, and a video game supply area. And what I wanted to do was set up like maybe like a dozen or so kiosks, for lack of a better term, just like some self-sustained entertainment centers, um, kind of like an arcade almost, but the idea that they would be retro gaming systems, because in my mind, the thing that killed the arcades was the home console. Like, why go to the arcade to play a game when you could just play it at home?
Sure.
Um, but the generation of consoles that killed arcades are now themselves obsolete. Um, everybody at home has like, a newer gen system, but, with hipsters being the thing these days and nostalgia being, the way that it is, um, I thought that having a gaming store where you not only go in to buy stuff, but you could also like sit there and play games that you never had a chance to years ago.
Mhm.
Um, for some people, I thought that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean the other, if you want to call it a problem with that, is the rise of what Nintendo has been doing lately. I mean, first you had the classic NES, or the NES Classic, whatever you want to call it, and now you have their subscription-based service for the new Nintendo Switch. Did you hear about that?
I heard about it. I saw a nice funny comic strip involved with it, but I haven't read too deeply into it.
Okay. Basically, now they're making people pay for online subscriptions. But
Good. Good.
meanwhile, Steam players are still playing for free. Um, but but they are eventually going to offer a free download of an NES or an SNES game per month,
Okay.
which I think is kind of cool. I think it could be better than that, but neat idea.
Yeah. Um, I feel like it's kind of like the PlayStation Network or the Xbox games with gold, but definitely much older.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like. Do you remember Sega Channel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Sega Channel used to be a thing that you got well, it was a monthly subscription for the Sega Genesis, and you would hook it up through your cable company, and every month you would get a slew of brand new video games to choose from, kind of like a Netflix type deal, where like they would change the 80 plus games they had on there, and you can just play them on the fly. Nothing needed to be downloaded or anything like that. You didn't have to have an internet connection; just had to hook it up through your cable box. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
If Nintendo did something like that, they would be the new top contenders for the console wars. I feel they would be at the top because, like you said, the nostalgia thing, the hipster thing, the people that grew up and want to play those games again thing, me. I would 100. I mean, I'm probably already going to get a Nintendo Switch just because of what they showed me already, and I didn't even see any games I want to buy yet. I just want the system.
I'm on the fence, man. I haven't seen enough to make me want to buy it yet.
Yeah, I'm getting one. Um, I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be day one. Probably not, because from what I understand, they're selling like hotcakes,
Yeah.
and it's not even out yet. So probably not day one, but when the time's right and there's some in stock, I'll get one.
Yeah. I and the other thing that I like about it is it's kind of like about the gaming store idea I had with the stuff was that in a gaming store environment, like people would always go to the like. I mean, you've gone to a card shop before.
Sure.
You know the kind of the atmosphere that you build with it. People meet like after a certain period of time, and like you do, you just get together, hang out, have some good times. Like you kind of do that, and you can do that with the card stuff, but also
I
hey, play a
Can I
video
cut
game
you off
together.
for 1 second here? Yeah, you play video games together as well, right? I just want to cut you off for 1 second. Andy's forgetting a very, very special part of this. You've been to a card shop before, right? You've met people through card shops before, right? This is how me and Andy have actually met before.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there just happened to be a. Now he's met other people from my group, from our group of friends, through a card shop as well, much prior to meeting me. But I've never had the chance, and as fate would have it.
yeah, right.
Anyway, let's get away from gaming here, but I still want to stay on the whole topic of the kid thing. All right, let's get into some crazy talk here. What's the worst thing you've ever done as a kid? Like, I want to know. Have you ever done anything illegal as a kid?
Illegal?
Yeah.
I married another boy.
Are you
No,
are you serious? Like, what do you mean by that? How?
no,
For a
no,
kid?
no.
Okay.
I've been trying to think of what could be illegal these days, but I don't know. I mean, marrying a minor, same-sex minor, yeah, that would be kind of. I guess that would be illegal.
Well, it
I don't
wouldn't
know.
have been illegal, or it wouldn't have been a minor, rather.
Well, I was a kid.
Right. Well, I was assuming when you said boy, you meant another minor as well.
Yeah,
You and another minor.
yeah,
The illegal part there would have been the fact that it was another boy
yeah.
because you're old. Anyway, all right.
Anyway,
How about
no,
morally wrong?
no. I was actually a really good kid growing up. That's gonna sound really boring, but um, I behaved, which is something a far cry that most kids these days can't really make that same claim.
We
Um,
will get into that in a second. How about this, good boy? The best thing you've ever done as a kid. What is something that you've done morally right that you probably wouldn't do today because of social standards?
hmm.
Can you answer anything?
Well, that's see, this is my problem with this is that have I done anything good? Um, I mean, I did what I was supposed to. I didn't go out of my way to do anything good.
Mhm.
That was not that was never really my shtick. I survived life. Um, I've done bad things. I have been the person to God, I actually remember one instance where I did torture and kill a frog. Um,
Oh,
yeah, gave it a last meal and everything. It ate a daddy long leg. Yeah, kept it under a sandcastle bucket, and then I gave it a daddy long leg as a last meal. Just kind of caught it and put it in the bucket with it, and then uh, afterwards, after letting some time pass, playing and doing other things, Frog didn't know it was coming. How could it? But I did. And I knew that, I would at least give him some time to have his meal. He'd be like, all right, well, this bucket's kind of weird. How the hell do I get out of here? Meanwhile, I'm thinking, where am I going to start? Am I going to actually, like, sever limbs? Am I going to just, like, go for the organs? Like, how's this going to work? And I remember when the time finally came, I had a broken piece of outdoor swing set. it was like a plastic pole, but the plastic part of the pole was like snapped in half. So it was a jagged piece of pinched plastic uh, that I ended up making a fucking uh, line down the center of this frog with it. And having just a good old time with its insides, just finding out what everything was, where it was, everything like that. So it's kind of like Surgeon Simulator, but without all that plastic screen and digital crap.
Right. And a frog.
And yeah, and with it being a frog, um,
I mean, I blame the
never.
school systems.
Well, that's why when I got older and in high school, like when they were like, oh, dissect this pig fetus, everybody's like, ew, gross. I'm like, can I have hers?
I never had to do that.
Really?
The pig fetus thing, yeah. Um, I think we were going to or supposed to, and it got canceled for some reason. Even the frog thing, you're supposed to dissect the frog.
Yeah.
When I was supposed to do that, I was in Disney World.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I dissected a worm, a frog, a pig fetus, and I mean, technically they gave us the baby to raise, but I was on a dissection streak, so I mean, why stop when you're ahead, right?
That's what you could have told the teacher and just handed him back the baby doll's head.
Yeah, I
Why
mean,
stop when you're ahead?
there was an accident,
That's
clearly.
great. The only
Um,
dissection I've ever done, I did dissect a chicken bone once.
dissected chicken bone.
Yeah, it was third grade that we had to do it.
That's lame.
It was pretty lame, but that's what we had to do.
What about you,
But
sir? What dark, nasty skeletons in your closet do you have from your childhood years?
oh, for my childhood years. Well, I mean, I've lit a couple things on fire and stuff like that. Nothing really too terribly bad. Uh, the only thing that comes to mind really is there was this one time where I was, you know, grocery shopping. Well, I was with an adult that was grocery shopping, my aunt, and as most kids did, you either go to the video game arcade cabinet they have there, or if there's not one available, which there wasn't at the time, you go to the magazine rack because there is a tips and trick copy. There's a copy of Tips and Tricks, which is an old video game magazine, or a copy of Expert Gamer Monthly, or Electronic Gamer Monthly. That was it, and
Electronic Gaming Monthly.
which eventually became Expert Gamer. That's what it was. Anyway, so yeah, you go to one of those things, and then there was the official PlayStation magazine. The official PlayStation magazine cost a little bit extra, and it cost a little bit extra because it came with a free demo disc.
Yeah, it did.
Uh, I wanted that demo disc so bad, but my aunt said you're only getting enough money for a magazine. That one costs more. I'm not giving you enough for that. All right. She didn't understand the concept that it was because it came with a demo disc. Because, in her defense, and she was probably right, I had a PS1 with a mod chip in it, so I was
Okay.
able to play pirated games. I had over 100 games already, and I wanted this demo disc. So
A trait I'm glad to see that you never outgrew.
you're welcome. Anyway, I showed Andy my games library on my computer before we started this episode. It's 268. Anyway, so she wouldn't get it for me, and I was like, all right, whatever, fine, be that way, that whole thing. And was just kind of like, you know what? I don't need the stinking magazine. It's in plastic. That is the only thing holding back from me getting this demo disc is the plastic. So I found one that the plastic was open on, but the demo disc was still there. And I was like, oh. And I, hiked up my big boy pants a little bit, decided to take it out, and shoved it in my pocket. I was wearing a hoodie
Wow.
at the time, and I felt so wrong doing this. I thought for sure I was going to get caught. I'm like, oh my god, they have secret scanners somewhere that as soon as I walk through this door, an alarm is going to go off. Like I see what happens when we buy CDs at the mall. That store in
Right.
the mall. If you go out of that store in the mall, the alarms will sometimes go off, and you paid for those CDs. This is a CD I didn't pay for. These alarms are going to go off. But it didn't stop me, and sure enough, I walk out the door. I'm like, the alarms went off. Okay, great. Now I've seen The Simpsons. I've seen what happens when Bart steals the video game during the Christmas hours. He runs just to the beginning of the store, like just to the door, and he gets right outside the door, and then he takes it out of his coat and starts going nuts and celebrating. I knew better than that. I waited till I got home before I took this bad boy out of my pocket and I fired it up into the PlayStation. And I think there was maybe one game that I didn't own on that demo disc, and it was not something I was interested in. So yeah,
Unbelievable.
that's probably the closest thing to something illegal I've done as a kid that I can think of. Uh, Morally wrong? Probably the same story, honestly, because I felt horrible about it. Like I just felt terrible. Like I felt like I was going to have to go to prison.
Ow.
Yeah, it
For
was
a
it was
demo disc.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know any better. Like I'm a kid. I'm like, you know what?
Right.
This is probably going to be the one that sends me up the river here. At least like juvie or like community service or something like that. I thought I was going to get in a lot of trouble, but I didn't care. Aside from that, one time, here's a fun story. One time, I had a problem with doing homework.
Hmm.
My entire school career, I had a problem with doing homework. But one time in particular, I had to. I didn't do homework so often that I had to get my agenda book signed by the teacher and by my aunt and uncle. Because the teacher would sign it saying, yes, this is a correct entry. This is what he has to do for homework. And then my aunt and uncle would sign it saying, yes, we've seen that he had to do this for homework and he has completed it. If I didn't get it signed by the teacher, my aunt and uncle would be furious and I would probably get grounded. If I didn't get it signed by my aunt and uncle, my teacher would give me detention, in which case I would get grounded. So I was damned either way. It
Right.
wasn't often that my teacher didn't sign it because she would remind me more so than I would remind her. Uh, and that was fine, but there was a couple times where either I simply forgot to get it signed by my aunt and uncle, or I, just didn't do the homework and didn't feel like going through the rigmarole of doing it and all that. So I was like, fine, whatever. I forged my uncle's signature one time,
Oh boy.
and I got away with it. So I did it again and again and again and again and again. Not every week, mind you, just enough times to skate by without anyone catching notice. Well, I guess I left my agenda book out one day for them to sign, because it said no homework or whatever, and I just left it on the table. Whenever they got to it, they got to it. Well, I forgot it at home. So I go home that day, and I'm telling my teacher, I'm like, look, they signed it. We didn't have any homework anyway, but they signed it. I'm telling you they signed it. I just forgot my agenda book at home. She's like, you're lucky we don't have any homework. You're fine. But just take this note home saying that, look, this is what the assignments are today. So I did, and she signed it, and I did. Took it home, and as soon as I walk in the door on the dining room table, I see my agenda book sitting there, and it's open to a page that is not that day. It's a page that I forged a signature on.
Okay.
And you know that feeling you get when you know you're in deep shit? Like you feel all of your insides just drop? Yeah, that happened.
Now
Oh my
remember, good boy. I never did anything wrong.
god. Man, my uncle, to put the fear of God in me, said, you know what? You're not in trouble with us because we already filed a complaint and I'm going to take you to the police station right now.
Wow.
So, I'm like, he's gotta be joking. But he is not his typical angry, you're grounded, you're getting this taken away, you're getting none of this is happening. There's no reprimands happening here. There's no repercussions. Nothing is happening. All he's saying is just, in kind of a relatively jolly mood. Just, yeah, get in the car whenever you're ready. We're going. And I'm like, he can't be serious, but yell at me, please. So I get in the car, and sure enough, he starts driving me. And we made it all the way to the police station. He told me to get out, and I got out and walked about 3 steps before I turned around, and he's got the windows down, waiting for me to turn around. As soon as I turn around, he's like, "Get back in the car. Never do this again."
Wow.
I don't care how many times I've been grounded before, how many things that get taken away. Nothing will ever top that experience. That was awful. I never did it again. I mean,
I,
it
I
was.
mean, I bet. Although this is funny because I never knew about agenda books until I was well into my early adult years. Like I never had that going through school.
Really?
No, never. And you know what? Honestly, I never did my homework.
But yeah, I didn't either. I mean,
Yeah, never. I was a C and D student for most of my school career, and it's not because I didn't know the work. It's just because I didn't do the damn work.
my problem was is I knew the work, so why did I have to do homework?
I didn't see a point to it. I aced every test I got.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't see a point to it. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to. I was just supposed to shut up and do the work, which didn't sit well with
Right.
young rebellious teenage me.
Are you a
Um,
good boy?
yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Because think things were worth following if it was within reason. This was not within reason to me.
I see.
Yeah. So never did that. And I think my first experience dealing with cops was when I was probably 12 and playing with a laser pointer outside of a second story window. Yeah.
Well, this whole thing brings me to my next thing I want to talk about there.
Hmm.
We promised the listeners a new segment, Andy.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you a new segment that I like to call Tell 'em Why You Mad, Son. Basically, what it's going to be is me and Andy, we get some pent up feelings over the course of a month. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh yeah, all in the diaphragm.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just got to let things out. And sometimes just telling each other about them before the show isn't enough. Sometimes funnies happen and no one hears them because Lyle's too lazy to edit together a behind the scenes podcast. So, so instead, we're going to just do our rants and raves here within reason. Probably won't be any names being mentioned or anything like that. But I think it'll stand to reason with what you would expect from a good solid rant between me and Andy. Would you like to go first, or can I please have this initiative?
um, no, you can go first because I have a feeling that I'm not gonna get too popular with mine.
Andy, you know my rules.
I know, but honestly, if it's an open forum rant, I ignore your rules.
It's open forum to an extent, Andy. You are not bringing politics into this. That's all I ask.
Oh, politics. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay.
I'm not a political person. What the
I
hell?
didn't think so, but I just wanted to make sure.
I got you.
No one needs to know the stance on side splitters as far as political parties go.
Agreed. Cause yeah, that's the last thing I want.
Right.
Arguments for no reason.
Right.
Can we
Exactly.
all just agree they wear ties?
You
They
know,
shove so far up their asses they have to waddle.
frescoes here, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
No,
No.
seriously, no.
Yeah, you don't like it? Then stop interrupting.
I wasn't gonna talk, but I like to bash on politicians in general.
Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, let me tell you a little something about snowflake, as you put them, millennials.
God, I hate them.
Here's the thing. I hate to group people into one giant stereotype, but each day it could just be me getting old, but each day I'm finding it harder and harder not to with these people because it's almost like they have no value of responsibility, no fear of anything happening to them incorrectly. Like if they do something wrong, it's I'll fix it later. You follow me here, buddy?
Yes.
The segment is dying before it's starting.
Not my fault.
Oh no,
Totally
it's
not my
not.
fault.
And you know what? None of this is getting edited out. I'm not editing a goddamn thing this whole podcast.
It opens.
Andy's trying to demonstrate. I'm going to tell the listening audience. Andy is trying to demonstrate to Fresca what they are trying to. I don't even know. What are you doing?
Passing notes.
Oh, they're passing notes. How adorable. Did you hear that, Fresco?
He's not here.
Yeah, I know he's not here, but he might listen.
Yeah, okay.
Andy and Fresca are passing notes.
We never know if the text messages are gonna work. Oh.
This is a problem. So, all right. Yeah, there's no other way to do this. All right, we're back. I stopped the recording because my God, you know, I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad this month, Andy.
Why you mad, son?
First of all, you think you got someone down to a science. You think you got them figured out. You say, and I'm not naming names here, but Tuesday or Wednesday is possible. Whatever day you want to record or whatever day you want to do this with. I understand Mondays you're busy. Tuesdays you might be busy. Wednesdays you might be busy. We'll do it either day. Just give me, or Tuesday or Wednesday, give me like a 12-hour notice. Maybe even a 6-hour notice. And make sure your schedule's clear. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Preach it.
I'm preaching. Now I'm not mentioning any names, but a certain person, I won't even mention their gender, that I may record something with, audio or video, we won't say which. Think telling them Tuesday or Wednesday they'd have their shit together. Next thing you know, we're getting interrupted. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
I'm about to say, I'm like, all right, no, go ahead, just preach it.
No, seriously, millennials. Here's the thing,
bastards.
They're just driving me nuts. Oh my God, like, is it such a crime if we beat them? Like,
I mean, technically, yes.
Not we as the adults that see them and don't like them, but their parents. Beat your kids. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to just flood the foster system, because like if whole communities as a collective decided to physically discipline their children the way that our parents disciplined us, then because kids like to make that threat these days, like, oh, I'm going to call DYFUS, oh, I'm going to get taken away from here. It's like, oh, really? You mean I get to beat your ass and get a vacation?
Yeah, and that's funny too because I made that empty threat once. I made the empty threat of, yeah, I was that kid. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to live here anymore. And it was with my aunt and uncle, and it's terrible, but it wasn't my mom, it wasn't my parents at all. It was my aunt and uncle. They were my legal guardians. I'm like, I'm calling DYFUS on you. I'll go into foster care. I don't care. Fine, go for it. No skin off our backs, and it totally worked too. So.
Yeah, no, I never had to make that threat as a kid, but I remember hearing a bunch of kids that did make that threat, and they just got beat more. Because a lot of them, okay, internet wasn't prominent back then as it is today. So, like, when you made that threat, you had to find out what the hell the number was.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh man. Right, and it's funny too because, like you said, they got beat more. I didn't get beat more. It was just like a resounding. Go ahead, go ahead, big guy, go for it. Here's the phone. They literally handed me the phone. I got nothing. This is just how that ended. All right, you win this time. So that was that. But I mean, look, they constantly think they're right. Sometimes they are. That's fine. You can be right. But to constantly think you're right, they constantly think they're entitled to the world.
That the entitlement is the thing that gets me.
It, look, I am so happy that you are doing great in school and that you're going to go to college and you're going to fulfill every hope and dream your little heart could ever desire. I hope you make it. Do yourself a favor and have a backup plan. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah.
if you can't make it as a pro NFL star, you might want to consider plumbing. you know? And
Yeah.
not for a lack of people telling me to do the same thing either, because trust me, as a teenager, they told me the same shit, and I probably ignored them the same way kids these days are ignoring us. And I completely recognize that, and I completely understand that. The difference is they don't just ignore us anymore. They will yell at us. They will give us the finger. They will say "fuck you, old man." We would never dream of doing that in our wildest dreams back in the day. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
You certainly didn't curse to your parents. You certainly didn't curse to any random strangers. You didn't just walk up to people and hit them and then say "got him" and have it all recorded on a cell phone. Like, what kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? What kind of ridiculous nonsense are some of these just stupid things? Kids are literally entertained these days by flipping a water bottle and having it land right side up on the ground. How is that fun?
I mean, to be fair, I used to break rocks with a hammer when I was a kid. I thought that was kind of fun.
Did you record it?
I didn't have a way to record it.
Would you have?
Maybe.
Would people like to have seen it as much?
No, definitely not. No.
That's the thing. Like, there's so many forms of entertainment out there now that we didn't have growing up. That kids are just like, that's not enough. I'm gonna go flip a bottle and I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna put it on YouTube and I'm gonna do some fancy, funny stuff. Not even fancy. I'm gonna just do something stupid. Like, I'm gonna do something trendy. I know.
Dab.
I'll dab.
Yeah.
Ugh. And it's gonna get 1 million likes, and everyone's gonna love me because I'm some short, fat kid that can flip a bottle and make it land right side. What? What are we doing to ourselves, people?
We are. You ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
I feel like I have. Bill Murray? No.
No.
Go ahead.
Guy goes into the future, only to see that like America has just gotten dumb, and people are just like slovenly like mouth breathers that like find like monster trucks and fire, like all that stuff is entertainment, and they
God,
don't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, they don't know how to grow their own food. They don't know how to like just do anything really. So the guy from the past comes in and he's like, showing people how to do stuff, like live a life.
Mm.
And they resent him for it because he's like, no, you're teaching us things. You're stupid. Rah! Like, what?
That's the thing. Like, I would appreciate it even if they were watching fire or monster trucks or something explode or something. They're flipping a fucking water
They
bottle.
were watching fire.
Literally just flipping a water bottle. It's so goddamn stupid. Oh my god. I mean, they literally have the internet. Do you know what you can do on this thing? You can watch videos of people flipping water bottles. Oh.
And cat videos.
There is Twitch. You can literally watch people play video games. I would have loved to have that as a kid.
I don't know, man. Like, as a kid, I would have been like, man, I want to play that game. I don't want to watch it. Now, as an adult, I'm like, I don't have time to play a game. Let me watch somebody else play a game.
No, think about this. As a kid, you may have been like, man, I really wish I had that game, but my parents won't get it for me. I have not been a good enough boy, or I just asked for this game, or I spent all my allowance. Whatever the case may be in your situation, you couldn't
Allowance.
I'm just trying to speak for everyone here, white folk included.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I never had an allowance.
Yeah, well, you're Spanish. So, what did you guys get, like a Dorito or something like that every week?
A Dorito.
You're
man.
exceptionally good. Here's a cool ranch. Anyway,
We got beans.
so
Dude, no lie. I remember as a very young kid, when I got done my homework, I got to help my dad pick beans out of his garden, and I'm not even kidding about that.
I got
Man, how stereotypical can you get? Okay.
I got an allowance for a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. When I first moved in, when my very first moved in with my aunt and uncle, they both were working full-time jobs and making way more money than they needed to without having to support someone. I move in, now they have someone to support, and they're like, cool. Here's the deal. You're going to do the chores that we don't want to do, and you're going to get an allowance for it. They taught me the value of $1. I got $10 a week. That was insanely a lot, for what was that, like 11? $10 a week was crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Shit, I
Yeah,
wish I had $10 a week.
that's what I'm saying. And just to like take the garbage out and, clean up the dog shit outside and set the table.
Wait, clean up the dog shit. It's already outside.
Yeah, but it was in like it was a very contained area. It wasn't like I had to scope an entire yard looking for it. It was a very contained area. Eventually, we got a fenced-in yard, and I had to scope the entire yard for dog
Oh,
shit. But at the time, we only had one dog and a leash outside, and it was just a very small area that he was allowed to roam on. So it was just that small area I had to, look around, and it was once a day, so it was never that much. And I had a pooper scooper, and I had a bucket with a trash bag in it. I was good to go. Like, it was easy. Kids these days wouldn't do that, I feel. and every time I say it, I'm starting to feel more and more old. It's terrible. But I don't give a damn. You know what? This is the whole point of this rant. And it's just this time. Look, not every month is it going to be about millennials, but this month in particular, it needs to be. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, so where was I? I was getting like $10 a week, and it only lasted for like 3 or 4 weeks before my aunt and uncle were just like, we're spending too much money on you. We're not giving you an allowance anymore.
it's like you only wasted on food.
No, actually, I bought a copy of Mega Man X for Super Nintendo.
Nice.
Yep, it's the first game I ever bought with my very own money.
Oh man, I remember my very first game.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
Uh, it was Pokemon Red.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine was way before that.
Yep.
I got Pokemon Red for Christmas.
Honestly, I never had an allowance, so I never had a way to get money.
No,
So
I hear you, man. Trust me, I hear you. But yeah, that was my first game that I bought with earned money, not like gift cards or, excuse me, gift certificates. Back then, there was no cards. It was a slip of paper that said you got this much money from this store. And the great thing is you can go there and buy something for like $1 with your $50 gift certificate, and you would get $49 cash in change.
yeah.
That was the way to trick those out. How about you? All right? So I got to hear. What is your tell them why you mad, son? This month.
Okay. As time goes on, and I know that this kind of ties in with the millennials a little bit, but honestly, the thing that disappoints me the most about the way things are right now is that people have lost touch with what, and it's funny that I bring this up, but people have lost touch with what racism actually is. Like that's the part that pisses me off. Like they are ready to cry foul at the drop of a hat for no damn reason at all. And like you don't even know what that word means anymore. Like the whole point of racism is you hate somebody based off of a particular subject matter, whether it be, well, race, obviously. But, if you're sexist, you go out of your way to treat them poorly or hate them because of their gender or creed or whatever. Like, that is not what, like, if somebody makes a snide comment, that's a snide comment. That's not racism. Like, somebody beats you to like half to death and leaves you on the side of the road because they didn't like your complexion, that's racism. Look
I
up the
mean,
civil rights. You'll find plenty of examples.
I see what
Having
you're saying,
somebody
but that being said, I mean, can you look? I know this is supposed to be an open forum and everything, but I'm going to speak here just to clarify things. All right. Um, do you mean if someone were to say like, oh, look at this worthless piece of shit, derogatory term, is that no longer racist to you, or?
If you're using a derogatory term, like, okay, hmm, how do I put
Yeah, we're
this?
not gonna say them, Andy. Let me just stop you there. As I said, I'm trying my hardest not to edit anything this episode.
Right. If you use a racially specific term, um, to describe somebody while at the same time venting your disgust at them, that would be considered racism because you are going out of your way to acknowledge the fact. Like if I just went, oh that guy is just being a lazy asshole, that's one thing. But if I actually call out as like oh good for nothing,
Black lazy asshole or
something
Spanish
like that, yeah, like
or Jewish.
that's a whole other matter.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's what I was trying to get to. Like, okay, so if you're specifically, even if you're just saying, oh, because he's black, he is this, that is still considered racism in your book, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think anyone has a problem with that then. Continue.
No, and it's
Like the
it
way you
always
were
gets
describing it, I'm just saying, because the way you were describing it is it almost seemed as if, like, the only way racism exists is if you actually beat the shit out of someone because of their color, nationality, gender, whatever.
no. Well, shit, I did my job poorly then. Um, no, because like you have people that would be just like assume it, and that pisses me off too.
Mhm.
When you're just like oh what I can't do this, I can't do this job because I'm a woman. It's like well no, you can't do this job because you're 5 foot nothing, and I don't have the apparatus for you to be able to reach that. So no, you can't do this job.
Thank God my wife doesn't listen.
That's the other thing. You know what else really grinds my gears?
Whoa! You're making it seem like we're stealing the segment from someone.
Yeah. But people who have a thing with like over equality, like people are not created equal, and I don't care who the hell judges me on that statement.
Tell them why you're mad.
We are not created equal.
Tell them why you're mad.
I don't like the idea that anybody can do any other job. That is bullshit. That is bullshit and not true at all. Like, people have physical, mental, financial,
Limitation.
like people are limited.
Yeah.
Whatever their limits are, they have limits.
Yeah.
Some people have more limits than others.
Right.
This is a fact. So the idea that somebody can go, oh, I know I don't have the use of my legs, but I would really love to be like, a marathon sprinter is like the Special Olympics. No, I don't need to go to the Special Olympics. I'm good enough to compete in the regular Olympics. No, you're not.
Like, look, I'm fat. I am completely comfortable with the fact that I am not good enough to compete in regular Olympics. I'm also not good enough to compete in eating challenges or anything like that. Like, I'm okay with that. You know?
Yeah, like you have was the one girl was making a big stink in one of the Midwestern states because she wanted to join the Boy Scouts but was getting resistance. No shit. You want to be a girl to join the Boy Scouts because you're like, oh, you don't have to be a boy to join the Boy Scouts. Anybody can join. Like, no, you have Girl Scouts. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Like these things exist for a reason. Like I don't know, man. Like
If you have a problem with the Boy Scouts because you're a girl and you want to be part of the Boy Scouts, the Boy Scouts is not for you.
yeah, it's
Because if you're one of those people that are just sitting there like, oh, well, I identify as a boy. Well, you know what? The Boy Scouts is a Christian-based group, and I don't think they want you there. Just saying. Maybe you should look elsewhere because I don't think you want to be there anyway.
yeah. You're gonna be a hell of a lot more resistance at this point. It's gonna be more of a chore than an actual fun hobby or activity.
Yeah, like go look for something else.
Yeah,
Have you
like
tried dissecting a frog?
oh, it's wonderful. So many colors, so many noises.
That's fun. All right. So that is. I mean, Are you content with your rant for now?
I'm good. Just remember that when somebody says that you can be anything you want to be, they're just trying to make you feel comfortable because you can't, and you have to accept those limitations.
And also remember, you're not the shit. You never will be the shit. And someday, someone's going to knock you off your high horse and go, "You're not the shit. I'm not even the shit. But I know I'm not the shit." I got nothing else. I'm going in an infinite loop here. Don't get me started again. Now, on to something a lot more fun. Well, Andy's Super Bowl picks were way off.
Yeah, way off.
Um, we're not going to. I'm fine. You know what? Patriots and Steelers. Who you got?
Um,
Just
Patriots.
Patriots. All right. How about what was the other one? Packers and Falcons.
Ooh, Packers.
Okay, mine's a little different. I want the Falcons. I want the Falcons and the Steelers. I think it's going to be the Patriots and the Falcons. But I want the Falcons and the Steelers. Anyway, the only reason I'm bringing up football this week, I figured since I was bringing it up anyway, I might as well get some picks real quick to see what people think and blah, 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 whatever. There is one last thing I want to do before we get into clickbait news and send these good people home with the stories. And this one's going to transition a bit into it because it's out of Florida.
Yay!
Yeah, I feel like 2017 didn't have enough Florida in it yet. So, there's a gentleman from Florida. He was a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. And this gentleman decided to get a tattoo saying that the Cowboys were the Super Bowl champions of this year. Cowboys got sent home.
Oh man, that's gotta be rough.
Yeah. It's hysterical.
Oh, tell me it's a tramp stamp.
No, it's not. Actually, here, you want to look at the picture? I'll show you the picture real quick. I have it pulled up. There you go.
Oh.
Dallas Star, and then it says champions. And there's actually this is a terrible picture. Here we go. Yeah, LI champions, which is the number of Super Bowl 51 champions, Roman numerals, what have you. It can easily be fixed, assuming the Cowboys win a Super Bowl within like the next 3 or 4 years. It can be fixed, no problem. But they have to actually do it. Like, if it's 52, they can just add another line there and you're fine. If it's 53, same principle. 54, things are going to get a little complicated, but it can be done, And then it's just going to get harder and harder as the more time progresses. But, you might want to do a cover up.
And
But has there ever been anything that gave you instant regret or, anything like that? Like, maybe something you witnessed that was like, why are you doing that? What are you doing? You're going to hate yourself for it.
I actually did have one of those moments, and it was when two people got together that I knew. And I'm like, oh, that is going to end badly. Like, you guys don't see it, but it will. Yeah, because everybody, I don't know, I don't care who you are that's listening to this, you have had the one friend. You may not have known both parties, but you definitely knew one friend that got into a relationship, and you're shaking your head at it. You're going, no. Like, I don't know why you don't see it, but this is a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you try.
I was going to say, or even the friend that you don't realize it's so terrible at first, but then, maybe they do one of those, we're going to break up and make up and break up and make up deals, and you're just like, every time they make up, you go, why? You were so close. You had it. You were done.
Yeah, and then you have that awkward moment where you're trying to, like, well, do I tell them how bad of an idea it is without sounding like a complete dick? Or, like, can I pull that off and still maintain a friendship? Like, it's that whole thing. And, sometimes you do it. You say, all right, well, what's the worst that can happen? I lose a dipshit friend who doesn't, recognize when something's a bad idea, or, or do I be like, no, sometimes the best lessons are the ones you learn yourself. Like, the only way you're going to know that stove is hot is if you put your hand on the burner. So.
Yeah, but if you leave it there long enough, you're eventually going to lose feelings in that hand, and it's just going to stay.
You're true. Although you get strangers no matter, whenever you want
Right.
them.
How about some clickbait news?
I would love some clickbait news.
That was just a little fun thing I wanted to point out for football talk. Um, by the way, wrestling talk is coming soonish. .tm.
Soonish. I know the Royal Rumble is actually at the end of the month. I believe it's the 25th.
The 25th? Isn't
Believe
it on a
so.
Sunday?
Yeah, it's on a Sunday.
Oh, so that'd be the 29th, probably.
Oh,
29th
yeah,
is
probably
the
the
last
29th.
Sunday of January, so I'm going to assume that. Okay, so being that it's the 18th, the 25th will be the next recording day, assuming you don't want to do Tuesday again, which is totally fine. I don't actually hate Andy for that. I give him an option of Tuesday or Wednesday every week.
Careful there. I might consider that racist.
So yeah, next week we should be doing the predictions for Wrestle or what is it called? Royal
Oh,
Rumble.
Rumble.
Royal Rumble, yes. We're in talks of doing something else fun with the wrestling thing. Stay tuned for that. I'm not going to reveal too much in case we don't go through with it, but there's a possibility for something else and a possibility for potentially a brand new Side Splitters YouTube channel. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Clickbait news time. All right. We're gonna make it pretty simple on the first one. The first one's not gonna be Florida. It's Buffalo actually, and I want you to tell me who a Buffalo woman called because of wind issues.
My first thought was a Native American.
Careful, that might be racist.
Stereotypical, absolutely, but racist, no. Because I got a picture of a bipedal buffalo with one of those like spring blouses on.
Buffalo. I didn't even think of that part. That's good.
I had a problem with wind. Let me see. She probably called the police.
Yeah.
Really?
Buffalo woman. That's good, man. I didn't think that was
Yes.
that obvious. Like, I thought you were going to say something like maybe she tried calling Ghostbusters? I don't know.
Because I thought of Futurama, like, because Fry had a little bit every once in a while where he was like, "Help, police!"
Buffalo woman calls police to stop the wind from blowing. I thought you'd like this one.
Oh shit.
I don't have the date on here, but January 11th. Okay, so it says there's no doubt that the storm last night caused all sorts of power issues, ice problems, and generally was annoying. Across the state in Buffalo, I'm going to assume across the city in Buffalo, one woman decided to complain to local police about the wind. According to Buffalo News, a police dispatcher notified officers on patrol someone was asking for their help. What they were seeking help with, the wind. Here's where the quote begins for the dispatcher. All cars be advised, someone called to see if the police could stop the wind from blowing so they could sleep. The dispatcher told officers, if any of you guys could do that, could you let me know? Oh my goodness. There is actually an audio clip to hear the dispatcher.
Oh man, no.
I'm not going to play because I'm not sure how that kind of stuff works with like legal rights and all that and who owns that piece of media and all that. But if I knew, I might have actually edited that into this part right here.
Oh man.
People could hear it. But yeah, that's called the police to stop the wind.
Stop the wind from blowing. Like, at any point, do you stop and listen to yourself? Like,
No, the wind's blowing too hard. She can't hear her. She can't hear herself.
Right. She's probably too exhausted from staying up all night yelling at the sun.
Why would she stay up all night to yell at the sun?
She's asking police to stop the wind. You want me to really rationalize this? Oh,
Oh,
God, It's so bad. I mean, I want to try that. I really do. I want to actually call various people of authority to try to handle mundane natural disasters.
I don't think that's a good idea, Andy.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. Next story. We're going to Florida, and we're staying there until the end of this segment. 2017 needs to be more Florida. I told you that.
Agreed.
All right. What? Okay, so another woman that called police. All right.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah. Tell you what. Where did the cops? This is kind of funny because this is another phone call for something kind of ridiculous, for police at least. So she called them to ask for help in finding her shoes and her teeth. Where'd they find it? Yeah, that's right. That's the part I'm asking about.
Wow.
Where'd they find the dentures in the shoes? She's 31 years old, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
31?
Yeah. Yeah, she's your age, Andy.
31 with dentures.
Yeah.
Oh, Florida. Never mind.
I mean, to be fair, you're 31. You barely have eyes. Sorry, that might be racist. Go ahead.
No, hold on a second. I can see just as well as anybody else.
No, you can't.
I really can't. I
Just like
really
this girl's
can't.
not eating beef jerky anytime soon. So where do they find the dentures in the shoes?
Somebody's in for a surprise thumbing. I think they found her. They found them in her glove compartment, her glove box.
You're close, because they actually found them in a car that she stole.
That she stole.
Mm-hmm. Florida, man. Florida.
Oh my God, there's layers to this.
She called police and asked them to help finding her teeth. Cops found them in a stolen car. Lindsay Jean Stanley McShane couldn't find her teeth, Lady Lake, Florida, couldn't find her teeth or her shoes, so she asked deputies to help her find them. Lake County Sheriff's Office deputies who found the 31-year-old while responding to reports of a suspicious person trying to enter homes around 1 a.m. Friday were very helpful. They found her dentures and her pink tennis shoes almost immediately inside a nearby stolen car. Police found the gray Kia stolen from Marion County with the lights on and the door open, and it was out of gas. Stanley McShane, who police said seemed to be on drugs, quickly claimed ownership of her teeth and footwear, but told police she was only a passenger in the car and she didn't know who was driving. She was treated in the hospital for drugs and then jailed on charges of stealing a car and possessing a stolen car.
Wow.
I gotta show you a picture of this winter.
Oh man, I'm afraid. She looks like a turtle.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yep.
Oh. I mean, first of all, I don't think I've ever. I've never treated the police as a lost and found. Like,
yeah, I don't know where these people are getting these ideas. Help! I need to find something. What?
I have only ever called the cops once in my life, just once. And oddly enough, it was for a domestic disturbance. But like, the only time that you ever call them is if you need them to step in because you yourself can't act on something.
Right.
Or there's a genuine crime being committed that you need somebody to do something about.
Mm-hmm.
I have never lost my teeth.
You can stop right there. You still be accurate.
Yeah, right? And then call the cops to help me find them.
Yeah, that's some shit. I can't.
Can I talk to them? Can I call the cops about having stuff stuck in my teeth? Do they do emergency roadside dental work?
Extraction.
Can I call cops on other cops?
That's a question for the ages. I'm not touching that one.
Because if I get pulled over by a county cop, can I call the state police to think that to say that I'm being unjustly treated?
I just want to put this out there. At the bottom of the first article about the wind, there's a line that says, "Just a reminder: only call the police for a situation they may be able to control."
PSS, no shit.
On to story 3. We're staying in Florida.
PPS.
It's PPS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
Okay.
postscriptum.
Gotcha.
Today I
Postscriptum
learned.
scrotum.
Yeah. Today I learned. PS stands for postscriptum. Anyway, this one encompasses Florida, in my opinion, in all ways possible.
Okay.
Like, this story screams Florida, okay? I want you to tell me, why did the naked Florida man break into a neighbor's house? You know what? I'll even take it a step further. What was the one thing the naked Florida man broke into a neighbor's house to steal?
Was it somebody else's teeth?
No. No, it wasn't. Are you ready for this answer? Because this is just marvelous.
I am in shock and awe already. What do you got?
I'm going to read the first line of the article. Largo, Florida. Police said a naked man used a butter knife to break into his neighbor's house in the middle of the night because he wanted to steal some sesame seeds to put on his hamburger bun. I mean,
I have questions.
Do you get any more Florida?
I don't. Wow. Okay. So I get why he wanted to do it. I do.
Careful, that might be racist. Oh god.
I genuinely do. Because I mean, if I'm eating a hamburger, I want there to be sesame seeds on the buns too. Like, fuck Burger King. Like, I think this should be made readily available in my home as well. What I want to know is what made him convinced that his neighbor had any.
That is a good point, Andy. I have no idea.
Like, I could see why he's nude. I could see why he wanted to have them. I just don't understand why he thought the neighbor had some.
Well, let's read on. Maybe we know. I only read the first line. I didn't even realize it. Okay. The homeowner woke up to find Martin Henderson rummaging through his kitchen in the dark. Willem Lolan said the guy who wouldn't leave. All right, hold on. Said the guy wouldn't leave, so Lolan grabbed him by the neck and escorted him toward the front door. He was still naked, Lolan said to the TV reporter, and I said, "You're lucky I don't knock you out." Henderson said he didn't think Lolan could do that, so Lolan punched him twice.
Okay.
Lolan called 911, and the police came and took the naked alleged burglar to jail. Henderson told the police that he had been smoking spice all day. Spice is a synthetic form of marijuana that has been known to cause this sort of thing. Oh, great.
Oh, good.
Okay, so the neighbor was like, "I'm going to knock your ass out." And homeboy was like, "No, you're not." "All right, I'm going to hit him." So he does twice. And then the cops take him away to jail. That guy seems like he got what he deserved.
Yeah, right? I mean, they have synthetic marijuana. Well, I guess they would have synthetic marijuana. Jeez. The hell, man? I can't keep up.
A dude's naked and breaks into someone's house to steal sesame seeds, and you get synthetic marijuana out of this whole article.
I mean, because is it sad that I'm so desensitized, like that was the surprise for me? And what do they call it? Spice?
Yeah.
The spice must flow.
I'll tell you what, man. Next week, I think it's going to be a complete turnaround. I think next week we're going to do a wholesome version of clickbait news. And it's going to be just all wonderful stories
Boring.
of like people being awesome and, you know, lives being saved and what have you.
Yeah, watching the win compilation as opposed to the multitudes of fail compilations.
Well, I mean, only reason being is because, like you said, man, you're getting desensitized. I can't have that. I gotta go through a streak of just, this is some wholesome stuff that happened around the world. Because clickbait does that. It's not all bad stuff.
True, it is.
So we'll have to, well, maybe we'll do some wholesome stuff next week. Maybe we'll run a streak of wholesome stuff. See how it goes, and then just punch you right in the kidney with a story like this out of Florida. Naked man breaks into a house for sesame seeds. Uh,
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
yeah. Well, it's my favorite time, your favorite time, everyone's favorite time of the podcast, Andy. It's time to name it.
Ooh, you have any ideas?
I have racial sesame seeds.
Racial sesame seeds. Okay. Um. Oh.
I also have, careful that might be racist. Seemed to be a nice running theme.
Yeah. Right. Oh.
Also, I'm not editing this, so make it good. No pressure, big guy.
Yeah. No pressure. So I was thinking of you know probably something like help police, my teeth are racist.
How about, uh, oh, I'd like to involve the help police, and then, I can do anything. Oh,
Right.
I can do anything for love, but I can't find my teeth.
That is so long.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
Okay. With it.
Millennials stole my sesame seeds.
Damn millennials and all their teeth.
I want to knock them out. I really do. Um,
I gotta tell you, I'm kind of liking careful that might be racist.
I kind of am leaning towards that one too, actually. But I can't because it might be racist.
Oh man. What else do we have here? We had the naked guy, the wind problem.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. the old, the old. How about racist winds?
The winds of racism.
That one's good. That one's even better. I like that.
Oh, what? Racism blows.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 25 of the Side Splitters in the books, titled "Racism Blows." That'll do it for this week. We have some stuff coming up next week, and like I said, potentially a YouTube channel, and maybe some fun things to be had still in the works. Who knows? Maybe not.
Who
This
knows?
um, it's going to be kind of sad to start up a new channel and a new possible show before we even get to a ball pit.
Yeah, that is partially my fault.
It's also partially my fault. So I mean, I blame you mostly because you probably told all those sons of bitches to put, whatever the keyword was that made me have to go into a damn ball pit.
I did.
And also, it was your friggin' idea.
It
You know what?
was.
This is your fault. You bitch.
Whoa, hold on. Wait, whoa.
Yep, that's all the time we have for today, Andy.
Racist term.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Side Splitters. My name's Andy.
Hey, my name's Andy.
Why can't my name be Andy? I could be Andy too if I want to.
No, you can't. Accept your limitations and move on with your life. Damn it.
Episode 25, Racism Blows. My name's Lyle.
And I'm Andy.
See you next week, folks.
Later.